And welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm BJ, and I'm alone. Take that shirt off. I don't think so. But that's going to be exactly how the night gets going because what are we doing tonight? Tequila. Tequila is what we're doing tonight. Hey, everybody, how are you? We are back. Welcome back to your weekly booze, news, and reviews. We have had a heck of a week. I think we took a week off last week. We had to. I was traveling. If you're keeping up with us over at the Barrel Buds on Instagram, and we sincerely hope that you were, then you would have caught up on all the cruise shenanigans. And boy, there were a lot of shenanigans. One of them was the tequila tour where we picked up this bottle. And we're real excited to bring that out to you. At least I'm really excited to bring this out to you. We're going to talk a little bit about this tequila, La Tequiliera La Novena, which is pretty fantastic. I've liked it a lot, and I enjoyed that. Everybody was like, "Well, this is a small town, small run tequila producer. They make it in the jungle, and they took us, through this very Indiana Jones. You're bouncing around. Oh my God, look out!" Just to get to this small place where we were tasting tequila. But if you look around Puerto Vallarta, which is where we were, you will come across La Novena. You will have seen this before. It tends to be the tequila that many turistas bring back from that area. And so we want to talk a little bit about La Novena. I'll tell you this about La Novena. Pretty good little tasting facility, but I will tell you they're not as small as they lead you to believe. And we're going to talk a little bit about that this evening. I'm going to hopefully be able to share some pictures from that tequila tour with you. Get to the chat here. Patrick Curry, take the shirt off. Party, Uncle Punky. Yeah, I see that face. That was a face I think you made a couple of times. Patrick Curry says, tequila is the best liquor for your body. Fun fact. Yeah, we talked about how tequila actually has the lowest sugar content. It's more easily processed by your body. I think a lot of us would say, really? If you've drank a lot of tequila, you'd find that might not be true. But it is true. It is scientifically proven that your body does handle tequila a little better, and it does have a lower sugar content. Your body doesn't process the alcohols in this and store them as sugars. It says, everybody out. Well, I think we've all had that. Because Chris Conrad, who was on that tour, saying, yes, it was. Uncle Punky, bring me my bottle. If I hear bring me my bottle one more time, I might go insane. I won't forget your bottle. It's still wrapped in the same black bag that it was delivered to my door in. It's not my fault that Ludo, our cruise captain steward, was afraid to knock on your door. Just saying. So let's talk a little bit about tequila. Let's talk about some things that we learned on that tour, and then we're going to get into this tasting. First thing we learned about is, and something that you might know is, typically you walk up to the bar, you're going to do tequila shots. What kind of tequila are you shooting? Are you shooting the clear kind? Are you shooting the slightly yellowish gold kind, like what we have tonight? Or are you shooting the very dark kind? Are you shooting it or are you sipping it? These are the questions. These are the things people want to know. The things I want to know. And the first thing is, yeah, you're typically going to see three colored tequilas out there on the shelf. And let's talk about what those are. You've got Blanco. Okay, you got Blanco tequila. All right, this is tequila that comes right out of the distillation, typically a 2 distillation process. It goes through two distillations, one to get the bad esters off, the esters that make you sick, and then get you down to that good drinkable alcohol that we know and love. And then you've also then got a second distillation that makes it smooth, sometimes a third distillation that makes it super smooth. And that's where you get your Blanco or your silver. Okay. Tonight we're drinking Reposado. Reposado is rested in a barrel. All right. Age equals color. You're absolutely right there, Mr. Conrad. Age equals color. And so Reposado is usually a year or less. All right. So you're going to find something that is about this color. You're going to see it's a slightly yellowish, slightly amber, is very light in color. So it's a year or less rested in a barrel. And then you have Añejo, which can be rested in a barrel up to 3 years. And it should be a really dark amber color. Now, the barrels that they typically rest tequila in are ex-bourbon barrels, all that sweet, good American white oak. And these tequilas that we had were actually rested in ex-Brown-Forman cooperage. So those are our old Jack Daniels barrels. I thought that was interesting. And again, I'm just going to say, use some logic here. Is a small middle of the jungle Familia Tequiliera getting Brown-Forman cooperage for resting? I know I'm going to have a hard time getting that. So you really got to know some people if you're not a big producer. I'll tell you, taking the top right off of this, amazing fruit flavors coming right off the top of this. I'm getting, this is going to be weird, but like Arati mango, very fruit ester, but like that rot mango, maybe some guava even. Guava already has kind of a Arati flavor. But I will tell you this, no matter what it is, if it's good tequila, they're not going to have to add a bunch of sugar to it. Okay, your Jose Cuervos, those tequilas that got you sick and made you swear off tequila, those are tequilas that have sugar. That's what makes you wear a shirt like this. Shout out to Permanent Hangover. Permanent Hangover will sell you a lovely golf shirt like this one. Makes you feel like shirt. And then you get these great, right out of the nose, great sense of what a good tequila should be, which is, I'm going to just call it out the way I see it, kind of dirty gym sock. All right. But I think that little dirty gym sock age and a little ethanol, and then those guava, rotting agave scents are really nice. And you get a little bit of the barrel too on that. I'll let you know that this is a fresh, all natural. This one is organic beverage. Not a lot of sugar here. You don't smell the sugars. Uncle Punky says, no salt or lime. Good tequila does not need salt or lime. Good tequila does not need to be something that you shoot. Good tequila is something that you sip, just like we would sip our bourbons. You'll notice I poured it in a tiny Glencairn. I got little Glencairns here at the house. We are shooting at the Casa Askins tonight. And there's even lime, right? I mean, even when I take the nose on this, I get great salinity. I can smell the salt and lime. Mr. Conrad's asking, how long in the barrel? So this Reposado was 9 months in a barrel. So this one was 9 months in a barrel. But Reposado is anything a year or less. 9 months to a year is pretty standard, pretty typical. And then when you start talking about the añejos, I've seen añejos that go all the way up to 9 years. I think that's crazy. I think it's a little much, but it's possible. I've seen it, but typically 3 to 6 years on good añejos. So let's get into this. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, all you barrel buddies and budettes. Glad you're able to join us this evening. Thank you for joining us. Let's give a couple of other cheers out here tonight. I'd like to give a couple of quick shout outs. One to James. James can't be here tonight. James is doing a fun thing with his life tonight, and we just want to give James a good cheers. Sorry you couldn't be here tonight, but you're doing a fun thing with your life tonight. So cheers, you prophet, you. And then we'll give a cheers out. We got some birthday cheers, some personal birthday cheers. I got to give a personal birthday cheers out to Chris Conrad Jr., just your birthday. Chris Conrad the third, just your birthday. Today? I think today. because it's also Samantha Curry. I believe it's your birthday. Patrick wants a shout out for you on this show, so happy birthday! And yeah, that's fantastic. So a lot of birthdays out there. Happy birthdays. What are you celebrating tonight? Let us know in the comments below, or put it in the chat. All right, that's delightful, just as I remember it in the jungles of Puerto Vallarta last week. Very, very tasty. So we'll give you some bottle details. Of course, being from Mexico, Hecho in Mexico, this is all in Espanol. 34% alcohol by volume. So you're looking at a 68 proof. That's pretty low proof comparatively when we're talking about like bourbons and some of the other things that we drink. That said, I think that there is a nice little burn. I think we get some nice vapor, little vapors. Oh yeah, C3. I said Chris Conrad the third. I didn't leave him out. I hope he's watching, even though he's a very young person, and this is a show for 21 and over. But we made sure to give him that birthday cheers there, Mr. Conrad. Good vapors at 34%. But again, that's what makes this very drinkable. I do feel a quick flush of heat coming up to my head, and let's get into that flavor. So you'll notice I was able to chew on it, right? You had the lower alcohol percent by volume, means I can hold it on my palate a little longer. Now, the Jack Daniel cooperage, these Jack Daniel's barrels that it was rested in, was contributing some really nice things, right? You are getting some nice oak sweetness. I think you're also getting some really nice caramel flavors, which is not typically something that I would tell you comes from a Jack Daniel's barrel. I don't think that that's a Jack Daniel's flavor characteristic, but it really comes through in this particular spirit. I think there's some great like caramel flan is exactly where I would put the flavor of this particular tequila. That's what I'm getting out of sip number one. I don't think it was a huge shock to the palate. Going in for sip number two, remember we got the 3-sip rule on this show. Yeah, that second sip, really nice. Still very easy drinking, very smooth on the palate. Little flavors of biscuit, and I am getting some of those Jack Daniel's light roasty peanut, a little biscuit characteristic on the back end. And I think, again, that's going to be things that just come out of the barrel cooperage. I know that the Blanco was very good, and we didn't buy a bottle of the Blanco because typically you make just margaritas with Blanco. This was something that I was totally fine with making some margs with, and also just sipping like this and enjoying. Going in for that third and final sip so we can give you a score tonight. I like that third and final sip too, because it really does bring out, again, what I'm going to call that, what I find to be a typical tequila flavor. And it's going to be that slightly rotted back end flavor of tequila. It's that tequila characteristic. Every spirit, every bottled alcoholic spirit has a particular flavor. I think rum has that molasses burn. I think bourbon has that very sweet, gooey, and caramely flavor. I think good American whiskey has that big jump up and white lightning burn for it. Those high corn whiskeys. You know, your cognacs and your Armagnacs have that rancio, old leather-bound book characteristics. And tequila has tequila, which is kind of that like rotting, gym sock, organic, natural flavor. And I enjoy that in that third sip. You kind of get that back end. It just lets you know, yeah, you're drinking tequila. You're drinking that stuff from down in the South. Now, one thing I do want to get to, is it really tequila if it comes from somewhere else other than Tequila, Mexico? 5 points for who knows in the chat. Anybody know? Is it really tequila if it comes from not Tequila, Mexico? Is there a Tequila, Mexico? Do 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 boom boom. Yes, there is a Tequila, Mexico. There is a Tequila, Mexico, and technically, no. Technically, just like champagne comes from Champagne, France, and technically bourbon comes from Bourbon County, Kentucky. Tequila technically is not tequila unless it comes from Tequila or Jalisco, the state of Jalisco, Mexico. That's technically what makes good tequila tequila. Yes, and it has to be from the blue agave, as noted there by Mr. Conrad. So there is a Tequila, Mexico. It comes from the state of Jalisco, and it does need to be there. This is from Jalisco, Mexico, and they do grow their blue agave in tequila. Typically, to mature an entire blue agave, you're looking at no less than 8 years to get a blue agave to full maturation before the pina, which does look like a pineapple by the time they cut all of the straps off of that agave. It looks like a octopus growing out of the ground. Once they cut all of the limbs off of the blue agave and they get it ready to be roasted, it does look like a pineapple. They call it the agave pina. They roast it. They then will roll it down. They'll mill it. So they actually pull it down by like a stone mill, kind of the way that you would ground flour. And then the process is very much like rum. So you're taking all of the internals after you've roasted it. You're gathering up all of those internal waters and all of those internal juices from the agave, just like you would bind down all of the sugar cane liquors and waters for rum, and then you distill that. That's what you're distilling alcohol, and then you're going to go ahead and age that to get your tequila. So it's a pretty standard and easy process, but it takes true experts to make good tequila. I'm going to cleanse my palate just a little bit. Got a little lemon water to help me do that, because I want to go back in one last time. I had my 3 sip. I want to go back in. Just taste this one more time. Yeah, very naturally sweet. I like that. I'm digging that. I'm liking that a lot. So let's get to some scores. Like the nose. I think the nose is super strong. I think that there's good natural scents there. I mentioned some guava scent. I mentioned, I believe, some oranges or some papayas. Some good fruit flavors that are coming through in the nose. I got to give that a 2.5 out of 3 on the palate. I think this is a very easy drinking. I'm not sure I'd want it proofed up anymore. I think that if you made this any more hot, I think if the ethanols here were any hotter, this would be very challenging, and you'd lose out on all the pleasantries. I think that there are some real pleasantries here. I do find that there's some nice delicate flavors in this tequila. The last time we did any sort of tequila on the show, and I'll look to link that, we did a mezcal. We did an elote mezcal. So it was a high corn, high blue agave mix. It was incredible. It really did taste like Mexican street corn. This is very delicate, a lot of fruit. You get the pina, a lot of sweetness. You're getting a lot of barrel characteristic. I like this, and that's the reason I bought it, which will lead me into the value, which was this was $70 American. So again, not cheap. And we all bought quite a bit. I don't think we got a buy in bulk discount. So I give this a 3 on the palate and taste out of 3. I thought that was good. Is this a value? I don't know. I mean, they catch you on vacation. We're all happy. We did like 10 shots of tequila. And I think our tequila tour guide which the tour is like through someone's backyard where they've got some good representations. We're going to post some stuff on. I'm going to post some pictures here on our Instagram at the Barrel Buds. Go give that a look. But it's not a working tequila. All right, this is a place to sample and sell tequila. Excuse me. I'm going to give the value a 2 because would I pay $60 here at home in the States for something I like? Yes. After tasting 10 different things, and again, we had a Blanco, we had this Reposado, we had an Añejo, we had an extra Añejo, we had 10 different flavors. We had coffee flavor and chocolate flavor and caramel flavor and all these flavors. I didn't buy any flavors. I didn't really like any of the flavors. There was mango flavor. There were all these flavors. There was decorated bottles. Okay, there was mezcal with the scorpion hanging in it. No worms. No tequila with worms. I actually kind of was hoping to see a tequila with a worm. No worm. Scorpion, but no worm. I'm going to give it a 2 because I think when it comes to tequila, listen, tequila we had a flash in the pan. Tequila was really hot. It was really out there. But I think when it comes to tequila, we make a lot of representations about what is good tequila. We want to point you towards tequilas that are not just celebrity branded garbage. I'm sorry, I'm going to name names. Just because James isn't here, I'm going to continue with typical character tradition. I'm talking about Casamigos. I'm talking about Terramana. Okay? Just because it has celebrity endorsement doesn't mean it's good. And I'm telling you, Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, you want to send us a bottle? You want to come on the show? I got room for you right here, big guy. Love to have you come on and tell me why Terramana is so good. George, Mr. Clooney, I got room for you right here. You want to come tell me why Casamigos is so good? I know why it used to be good. I know why you originally bought in on it. It's not the same spirit. It's not the same. Okay? You slapped your name on it. Good. You made your money and you got out. Good. It's good business. Doesn't mean it's good tequila. Okay? I like this tequila. I think it's a little low proof. I liked it enough to spend $60 on it. American. Would I do it again? I don't know. I think it was a vacation purchase, which is why I'm going to give the value score on this. I'm going to only give it a 2 because I got to feel good about it. And will I drink this whole bottle and am I going to have buyer's regret as I drink through it? No. Nope. I'm going to be excited about it. I'm going to tell fun stories about it. Good about it. Right. So that gives me a 3, a 2, and a 2.5 for a 7.5 out of 10. Am I blown away? I'm not blown away. It's just as good as I remember, but I'm not blown away. So 7.5, I'm going to give it, I'm going to leave it right there at 7.5 out of 10. I think that's a solid score for this show. I think that's fantastic. Let's get to the news. Got a couple of quick news stories to share with you. Pull up the news for you really quick. Let's give you a couple of quick things. So, Buffalo Trace has announced that E.H. Taylor is going to come out with a barrel-proof rye whiskey. A new uncut, unfiltered rye recipe is now joining the E.H. Taylor Jr. collection. Aged at Buffalo Trace, and it's going to be released at 126 proof. It's going to be coming out in the 2023 October collection. That's kind of old news. We're not super pumped or excited about that. What other piece of good things? Michter's is apparently dropping a new edition of the Toasted Barrel Whiskey. So we've talked about Toasted Barrel Whiskey on this show. I think Michter's got in on this. Has anybody had the Toasted Barrel? I haven't. I haven't had Michter's Toasted Barrel, but if it's anything else like some of these other toasted offerings that we've had, I'm not super excited. For those who don't know, a toasted simply is talking about a barrel finish. So barrel finishes are about the char level. They go 1 through 4. Typically 4 is where we find all of our barrel chars. If you toast it, that means that you're taking a barrel that's gone through a barrel char rating of 4, and then you're putting it through additional charring for a secondary maturation period. I don't know. I mean, people talk about, do you like your marshmallows burned on the outside? Then you probably are going to like that. I love my marshmallows burned on the outside. I don't really like that. So no offense, but I'm not looking forward to that release. Just saying. Let's see. Oh, this is pretty fun. This is a release that's coming right here out of Nevada, and we're very excited about it. So this was from Frey Ranch. They're doing a silver and blue bourbon. This is to commemorate the college up north, the University of Nevada. No, I'm not calling it UNR. It is the University of Nevada. That is my alma mater. But they are doing an edition of their straight bourbon whiskey to commemorate University of Nevada. Go Wolfpack. And a new Free Ranch offering. The bottle is featuring a new label instead of the traditional dark gray and yellow labeling. This is going to have Free Ranch in the traditional canary yellow lettering, but the label itself will be in the traditional Nevada silver and blue. You'll be looking at those to hit shelves here in the next 2 weeks, probably here in northern Nevada, and finding some bottles down its way here in southern Nevada. For all of you UNLV fans, sorry, we're getting it up north first. Maybe you can convince them to do it in Rebel Red. I don't know that that's going to happen. That's your news. Going back to the chat, looks like I covered most of it. I do have a shout out, it looks like, from Ellie saying hi, and I'm doing a great job. Thank you, Ellie. Well, that about wraps it up for us here. Next week, we should have the regular crew back together, back at the regular Barrel Buddies compound. For this week, that's it. Thanks for joining us here at the Barrel Buddies. I'm BJ, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.